I know you miss me.
Not as much as
You
you
miss me. You miss me. I know you do.
Wait, what? I can do
I
that?
don't want you to miss me.
This is Eric Bell with Wait, what? Financial
Learning
matters that
English.
matter for business and the people that own them.
Have a little fun right now. I love it.
All righty, here we go. All quiet.
All right. Wait, what? I can do that? This is Eric Bell with Wait, what? Financial matters that matter for business and the people that own them. Thanks for being with us today. I'm fortunate to have Dana Hunter with us, who is a director of sales for Sunrise Senior Living.
Yes. Hello, all. How are we today?
Let me tell you some rules first, Dana, while you're here.
All right. Here we go with the rules.
I
Here
got the
we
piggy
go.
bank here. Her name is Karen.
Uh,
If you use any acronyms, $5 in the slot for every acronym you use.
long as I owe you, you'll never be broke.
Okay,
Done.
There you go. All right. Yeah, I kind of want to start with some some definitions.
All right, cool.
Senior living, for me, I'm a layman, versus a convalescent home, versus a place where your people over 55 can live. What's the big difference? I don't understand the difference between those three anyway.
Well, you said it right. We're senior assistant living at Sunrise. When you look at like a 55 and older community, that's generally an apartment building. We offer that assistance, keyword senior assistant living. So therefore, yes, you do have your own separate suite or apartment, so to speak, but we're able to also provide the medical assistance should you need, the care should you not be able to do your usual activities of daily life. I was going to say ADLs, but I caught myself.
Said ADL,
but no, I said the proper thing first.
All right.
But yeah, if you're not able to do your activities of daily life, like our care managers are in place to help you and assist you with all of that. So therefore, where you do get your sense of independence, if you're not able to do what you need to do, we're there to assist you. If you're like in a 55 and older apartment building, you're just there. Like, who's there to help you?
Mm-hmm.
It's just you. All of your neighbors are 55 and older. That's it.
So, tell me about Sunrise Senior Assisted Living. Tell me about that.
All right. Well, Sunrise, great
You guys are
great
huge.
company.
I see you everywhere.
Yeah, we are huge. So we're a global company, actually. We have over 400 in the States, and we're also in the UK and Canada, which is really, really cool. My career with Sunrise actually started in New York on the East Coast, and 2 years ago, I transitioned to California.
So where are you from? You sound like you're from Texas.
You got Clearly, I'm not from Texas, although I did live in Oklahoma for a little bit, but no, I'm from New York, born and raised.
All right.
Born and raised.
I had to get that in.
I'm sure. I'm sure listeners can tell. But so my career with Sunrise actually started on the East Coast, and I transitioned to Cali 2 years ago. Since then, I love it. I love it. So we're a huge, huge, huge company. And that's what's really cool. When you work for Sunrise, you don't leave the company, you stay with the company. Like, you grow with the company because you can just transition. If life calls you to another city, another state, you just put in your transfer, and it's really, really awesome. But yeah, and we originated on the East Coast, actually. McLean, Virginia.
So, with Sunrise and all the other, I call it assisted living places, there was a bunch of bad press during COVID.
Yeah.
Seniors getting sick, passing on. What kind of, safety measures has Sunrise put in place to make sure that they're safe in your facilities?
Well, okay. During COVID, like back then, a year ago, we're still there. 2 years ago, we're still there now. So whatever we had in place back then, it's kind of still in place now, we do our safety precautions. We follow the California state pen as well as the county guidelines, so at this point, you must be fully vaccinated in order to enter our building. And you also have to present a negative COVID test within the last 24 hours. So yeah, we're following, temperature testing, all that good stuff.
That's a big deal. I know my mom's 83, and I can't be around her if I have COVID or any signs of COVID.
Of course not. Of course not. No.
I wanted to ask you too about the process. How does it from start to finish? I show up with my mom, for example, or show up by myself.
Okay, I
what do
hope you
pe- what do
wouldn't just
people
show
do?
up with your mother and luggage in the trunk. Okay,
What do people?
seriously.
How do I want to know what the process is?
Although
Kid-
that has happened to me
oh,
before.
has it?
Yeah,
Wow.
funny. But anyway.
So what happens? I mean, I show up because I want to consider this place for my mom.
Mhm.
I talk to you, or who do I talk to?
You would generally talk to me. We would schedule our tour. I do like to do in-person tours, although at this time I will do virtual as well because some people aren't comfortable coming into a community during COVID. But I love doing in-person tours. You come in, you meet with me, and we basically have a conversation. I'm getting to know you. It's the discovery phase. I need to know what needs of your loved one needs to be met within Sunrise, so I know what to highlight on our tour. So we do our tour. Then after that, if you decide to commit and come along with Sunrise, then it's the paperwork process, myself reaching out to the primary care physician, ensuring I do have all of the paperwork. Then, we have our testing that the potential resident must take in order to get in, medical testing to clear, they don't have TB or anything like that. Then we do our assessment. Our care team conducts an assessment, and that is where the care level and the med level is set if needed. Then from there, move on in.
I think about myself and again my mom. I got a brother who's an RN, so he knows everything, right?
Oh, boy.
But I'm my mom's person in terms of taking care of her financial matters and medical matters if something were to happen to her. How does that go down when you
So
have
you see my face,
siblings and
right?
stuff?
You
Yeah,
see my face.
I saw it change
Okay,
up. Yeah.
so honestly, that is one of the biggest challenges I see in this business. Like when there are multiple decision makers, especially siblings,
No, my brother's not a decision maker, but he'll want to be, and he'll be mad if I don't want to do
Yeah,
what he wants to do.
exactly.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, like who's the POA? That's whoever's signing the
Okay.
RA. But the siblings can be very, very, very verbal. And what usually happens if your brother's not in agreement with what you're doing with your mom, your brother's going to do what? Get in mom's ear.
Right.
Get in mom's ear and try to turn it into a negative situation so he can get what he wants. So I see that all the time. But, I often invite that sibling in. Come have lunch with me. Come do a tour. Once they see all the benefits of Sunrise, literally 9 out of 10 times they're changing their minds.
So for me, it'd be probably best if I brought my brother with me on that initial thing, just so we can lay everything on the table.
Exactly.
Right there.
So you and he both get the information together,
Yeah.
and you're not telling him, because if you're telling him the information, he may think, oh, well, Eric's putting a twist on it because this is where he wants my mom to be. No, you guys should both receive the information together.
Mhm.
I often tell siblings, like, if you were to come by yourself, please give my information to your sibling. Have them call me. I have no problem doing a conversation, doing a call with them.
Mhm.
None. So if they're not able to be there, let's get them there virtually, like whatever. That's not a problem.
Well, let's talk about my mom now. If it's not her idea, it's not a good idea. So I guess I talk to you, me and my brother. I bring my mom in next. How do you work that situation?
It's the same thing with parents, with moms, with dads. Honestly, 9 times out of 10, they don't want to come to assisted living.
Mhm.
Like, it's sometimes a struggle. Why? Because they're leaving their home. They're leaving their quote unquote sense of independence. Some people have been in their home for 50 plus years.
That's my mom.
So, exactly.
Yeah.
So can you imagine that transition? You're leaving all you've known to go to a place where, all of your meals are being provided. You're not able to get in that kitchen and cook your pot of grits or whatever it is you used to cooking,
Right.
So that can be very, very challenging for one. I know I'd be scared to death,
Mhm.
but the same thing with the sibling. Bring mom, bring dad. Let's have lunch. If there's like a cool activity that's going on, bring them. Let them observe. Let them see all that we offer here at Sunrise. And then it's a community they totally want to be part of.
You talked about assisted.
Mhm.
That was a key word I heard, assisted living. Assisted, how do you mean?
Just that. Assistance. We are able to provide the assistance when needed. So let's say you're in a situation when you come in, you're fine, you're performing all of your own activities of daily life. You don't need any assistance with ambulatory, you're not using a cane, nothing. As time goes on, let's say arthritis sets in. Anything can happen and you're not able to fully bathe yourself, dress yourself the way you want to.
Mm-hmm.
That's when our care managers step in. On a monthly basis, we're evaluating your loved one when they're in Sunrise, and we're seeing if there are any changes and if care needs to be added or sometimes taken away, So with that being said, if we notice that more assistance is leaving, we'll call the responsible party in, you for your mom in that case. We'll say, you know what? Mom is moving a little slower and mom is, calling for assistance when it's time for shower. We think we might have to, in place a care level. Then we're there for that. And like when it comes to assistance, we handle everything to sunset, So I have residents across the spectrum. Like when I pull up to communities, I have residents that have cars that are parked right next to mine in the parking lot. And I have residents that can be actively transitioning on hospice inside, So it's really, really nice that you can totally age in place.
The reason I'm talking about this today and I have you on is because a lot of the business owners I work with, they're my age, maybe a little bit younger. The parents are still alive. Usually dad's gone, mom's still alive, living in that big house by herself, using 3 rooms, and she needs to move out. But she's fighting it because, like you said, all her memories are there. And the business owners, what it does for them, I've seen them distracted from their business because, of course, you're going to worry about your mom before you worry about your business. And I thought it'd be a good idea to have you on just so to kind of, raise the veil in terms of what's going on in these places.
Yeah.
So they go through the process with you. Let's say my mom needs additional assisted living or assistance.
Care.
Is there additional costs, or is it all encompassed within the same cost, or how does that work?
So, okay, when it comes to cost and assisted living, this is what I always compare it to when it comes to, care being added on. Let's say your mom is in need of care and she's in her home, correct? You want to say, okay, mom, you really want to stay, so I'm going to try to keep you as comfortable as possible in your home. What do? You get caregivers to go and be with your mom. On an average, on a great day, like great price, you might pay $25 an hour. When you multiply that, and that's just for care, okay, you can pay up to $18,000 a month if your mom is needing 24-hour care, someone in that home with her all the time.
Wow,
correct?
That's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
Yep.
Here at Sunrise, you would pay a fraction of that, even with care added on, because we're there 24 hours already. We have care managers. We have our resident care director who oversees our entire wellness department. We have our, nurses under her. We have med techs who are coming in. So there are always people in the building 24 hours a day. In addition to that, all of your meals are provided. Your laundry's done. Your housekeeping's done. You get a wonderful Live with Purpose, which is our activity program there. So you're getting all of these things, not just care. So when you think about it, you can leave your mom home, and pay all of that money for care, but mom is sitting there by herself with a caregiver with like no quality of life. She's not interacting with her peers. Wouldn't you rather mom be with her peers? And
I think that's better for her.
Yeah.
Keeps the mind going.
That's the point.
Yep.
You want to stimulate their mind. You want to stimulate their body. Most of our activities, our program, we start off every day exercising our body. Once we get that blood circulating, then we exercise our mind with a little trivia. That's what keeps you going. That's what gives you purpose every day as a senior.
Right.
And that's what we want for our loved ones. At least that's what I'd want.
I know my mom, 83, big house, uses 3 rooms. What will her place look like within Sunrise?
Well, there are several different accommodations you can select from, depending on what you're used to. So, we have companions, we have studios, Denver's 2 bedrooms, 1 bedrooms, With that, you would get a kitchenette, your kitchenette, very, very accommodating, refrigerator, sink, cabinets, counter space. There's no need. You can provide your own microwave if you'd like, but again, we provide all of your meals. On an average, we have 23 menu options offered daily. So you have several things to select from.
So she doesn't just get what's being served, she gets to pick what she wants.
Yeah. If mom doesn't like it, she can choose from a variety of other things, which are amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. And I can say Sunrise has really great food. I have seen several Sunrises, from coast to coast, several within this region, and really great food.
Okay, that's good to know. I thought it'd be like one little room, and you kind of do all your activities and stuff, but you return it at one room. So that's good to know.
No, yeah. So no, yeah.
And let's say this. Let me ask you this. So let's say she started out with the full kitchenette and all that kind of stuff. And then she needed more assistance where she wasn't using that. Can I downshift her to a smaller place or?
Yes, let's say you had a 2-bedroom. Of course, you can, go to something smaller. But all of our suites come with a kitchenette. It's just a really nice added amenity.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm saying, she wasn't using all the space.
Yeah, of course. You can always, of course. I have that happen all the time. An internal transfer. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Memory loss, which is a big thing for all of us as we get older. My mom's experiencing it now. How does that work within Sunrise? What kind of stuff do you guys have to help them stimulate their minds and reduce the rapid loss of memory?
Well, Sunrise, we have communities. All of our communities usually have a special community and neighborhood within inside for the memory impaired. So let's say your mom want to come in and be in assistant living, and we notice her memory loss is really, really becoming apparent, and mom may become exit seeking or something of that nature. Then we're going to have a meeting with you and say, Eric, mom might need to transition to our memory neighborhood. With that being said, she would just transition to another suite within our building, and it would just be added support for your mother. With that being said, extra eyes. The activities may shift a bit and be a little shorter in duration because their attention span might be a little bit shorter. So it's just more modified for Alzheimer's and dementia, which is really, really nice. Most Sunrises have 2 different levels. They may have a terrace club, and that is for early onset. And as you progress with your dementia, then you would transition into our full reminiscence, and that is for our, fully transition, you're in a later stage of Alzheimer's or dementia. So it's really, really nice because once you move your mom there, you won't have to worry about, oh my gosh, I might have to seek other accommodations. You will never, ever have to worry again. And it's just really a great sigh of relief that we're able to bring to loved ones, knowing that your mom or your dad is like cared for, knowing that there is eyes on your mom or dad, knowing that you will get reports on if any of the conditions are changing with your mom. So that added, that's just, it's honestly, it's priceless. It's priceless. I mean, I speak from a point of being on that side of the table myself, with my own father. May of last year, my father was, ill, and we had to decide what we were going to do as far as his accommodations.
And you have 2 siblings.
Yeah, yes, I do.
How did that work out?
I have siblings.
How'd that work out?
Well, what
And you
was
got a mom too.
Yeah, mom is still here.
Everybody's involved.
Everyone's involved. But I think, what was hardest for me, all of my family's on the East Coast. Everyone's in New York. So I was here in Cali. So I'm trying to put my input in from Cali. So it's like, but I'm not there. But I'm in the business, So it's like being in the business, you may be considered a know-it-all because you're in the business. But it's like, honestly, it was one of the hardest decisions you will ever make in your life. I'm not going to sit here and sit across from you and tell you it's an easy decision. It's not. Like, here we are as children making a decision for our parent. When have we ever had to do that? And when you think about it, we're making the hardest decision because this is probably going to be their last accommodations, no matter if they're there for months, years, like whatever. This is it. So you just want to ensure that you're doing the right thing. So it's a very, very challenging decision.
I think role reversal is hard for the kids and also for the parents. Because that's basically what's going on.
It is.
Reversal roles.
It is. And it's like I've done meetings and I'm doing a tour and mom and dad are there with the child. And, I'm sitting there, I'm speaking to the child, like I'm speaking to you. And, I'm speaking to mom and dad too. And when certain questions are asked, the child will answer and mom and dad will totally butt in and say, wait a minute, I'm the parent, I'll answer. And it's like, okay. Then I'm sitting there looking back and forth like, okay.
I still want to be in charge.
Yeah. To the end. End.
One thing my mom kills me about, I was up visiting her in November of last year, and she insists on driving.
Wait, how old is your mama?
83.
Okay.
So we're on the road, we're on the freeway, driving at 55. We're on streets, driving at 15 to 25 miles an hour. And it just kills me and my brother. Are you guys? What happens with the car when she comes to your place? Do we take that away, or how's that work?
Well, okay, so that's a conversation you have to have with your mom. You can have your car at Sunrise. You can also bring your 4-legged furry friend if you like. We're pet friendly. But with that being said, is it still safe for your mom to drive?
No.
So,
absolutely not.
Therefore, that's a conversation you need to have with your mom, hopefully before she reaches there. So the car doesn't come with her. Right. Yeah. But if she's at a place where she can drive, and of course, the car can come with her if it was safe for her to drive.
Let's go back to I had an episode before with some people, they're real estate guys, and what their niche was helping someone that's older move out that house. Because my mom, for example, she's got so much stuff, in all the rooms, my bedroom, my brothers have their different bedrooms, all the stuff is still there like we were still in high school. Do you have connections to help somebody make
Yes,
that
there
transition
are
or process
actually
from the house?
there are several referrals that I give when assisting transition into Sunrise. I can help with my movers. I have full service movers that will come in. They will come to me first, get the floor plan, understand the space you're working with, go to your home and say, okay, you can bring this, that, and a third. They will come take measurements. They will come pack for you. They will come and unpack for you. They will place all of the furniture. I have full service providers and they are wonderful. I work very, very closely with referring them out, as well as if you just need a basic mover. But yeah, there are several
Yeah, you know,
full
my
service
mom still
provider
has
companies.
my Cub Scout Weeblo patch. She has all
I
that kind of
love
stuff. It's
it.
crazy.
So, okay,
Which
wait a minute. What do you
that's-
want your mom to do with those things? That's my question.
If something were to happen to her, it'd be in the garbage as far as me and my brother are concerned.
Oh my God.
But I don't know what she would do.
Eric,
with
you
it.
really wouldn't want to keep any of it?
Not really. I mean, I can't even remember being a Boy Scout or a Cub Scout. That's how long ago that was. But I wouldn't keep it. My brother and I would probably rifle through her house so quickly and throw away stuff that she wanted that she wouldn't want to keep. But if she was no longer there, I mean, what are we keeping it for?
Okay.
I don't know. It's just me and my brother. It's just two boys.
See, I think that's the male thing in you. That's the boy thing. Like, really?
Mhm.
You're just like, do away with it, Mom, whatever.
Well, we be trying to, get rid of it and move on, keep moving, for the most part. We wouldn't want to forget about her.
Says the guy who has 2 daughters and a son, who probably has everything his daughters have ever painted.
No, I don't. I got some of them, but I don't.
Eric, seriously?
Yeah.
Whatever.
We're recording, so hopefully they won't watch this show. Hey, so I'm just trying to, I'm back to assisted. 400 communities.
Oh, yeah, we have several in the States.
That's in the state?
Yeah, in the States. The States,
okay.
Yeah.
How many in California? In Southern California, would you say?
Oh gosh, Southern Cal, we have quite a few. The exact number I don't know offhand, but I mean, just from the communities that I've worked and I've encountered since being here, Santa Monica, Playa Vista, Beverly Hills, Hermosa, Huntington, Palos Verdes,
Mission Viejo, I know.
Huntington, Mission Viejo, La Jolla. Those are just to name a few. So we have communities everywhere. But what's really, really awesome about having communities everywhere, I can accommodate a move-in pretty much from anywhere. Mm-hmm. Like recently I did a move-in from New York to Cali. They were like, Dana, how did you do it? I called my sister community in New York and, I brought them on board to do the assessment. So therefore they flew from LaGuardia, landed in LAX, and were able to come to me because I had everything already done from my communities in New York.
So that's good to know you guys are collaborating with each other.
Oh, of course. We'll reach out. Like I have an assessment, if you're, in the San Diego area, I'm going to have one of my communities down there do the assessment, then move you on up to LA County, Orange County, wherever you need to go.
Do I look smarter with my glasses on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that the look you're going for?
I'm trying to.
I'm
just trying to see right
totally
now.
Accomplished.
I'm just trying to see right now. We talked about pricing. We talked about the furry friends and cars and things like that. What am I missing? Seems like I'm missing something in terms of that transition, moving a parent there. We talked about children coming in and basically having to get on the same page. And then again, your parent can override everything once they get there.
Yes.
So what's the likelihood? How often does that happen?
When parents override it?
Yeah, they just don't want to be there.
I mean, it can happen, but much like I said, when they're invited in, when it's presented properly, the parents like, wow, and I can say the best way to present it properly is activities and a meal. Invite them in. If we're having live entertainment, totally invite them in. When we're doing our cocktail hour, invite them in. Invite them in for whatever meal we're having so they can really get our dining experience, because that's what it is. It's not like, wow, you're in skilled nursing and like things are coming out in trays like those plastic trays.
Right.
Totally. It's luxury living there. And that's what, I don't know, that's what I want for my mom or dad,
I would want that too.
That's just it. It's a different level. So where a lot of times people think skilled nursing, no, we're not skilled nursing.
Okay.
Our residents are eating off porcelain like plates, like absolutely not. It's not that.
Wow. That's good. That's good to know. I didn't know that till you came in here, to be honest with you.
Really?
I thought it was the other way around where they would get it like a tray.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's a dining experience.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So therefore, when you are seated, then that's when your order is taken.
So live entertainment and cocktails sound like I should come there.
Well, Eric, again.
I'm old enough. But you know what? Let me ask you that too. So the 55 and older communities, there's really no age limit where you're at. I mean, you could be 40 years old.
Well, no. There is. Like in certain situations
Yeah.
where I do have a younger client, I do have to, make sure I have permission and make sure they can acclimate well. Because remember, we want everyone to be comfortable and we want everyone to get a purposeful feeling while there. If you are 40 and you're coming into a place where everyone is 80 and better, how are you going to feel about yourself?
Well, I mean, if I need assistance.
Well, yes, and that's why we will get in certain situations, like let's say there's a situation you have MS or something like that, of course.
Okay.
Of course. But yeah, usually it's
because some of the business owners, their kids have issues also.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. But it's mainly parents they're having problems with right now. They're all in their 50s, 60s. Mom and dad are 80 plus, 90, and they're starting to have those issues. Yeah. Anything else I'm missing, Dana, or that you could tell me?
Well, let me think. I think, honestly, speaking from someone who has been on that side of the table, speaking from someone who knows the business as far as, what to do with your loved one when they're aging, our aging seniors, it is so important to have this in place. Like nothing's worse than when I have to do a meeting and someone's coming to me, mom or dad, is in crisis. Mom or dad is in an unsafe situation. And it's like, let's do an emergency move-in. And it's always great to kind of have had that conversation with mom or dad prior. I mean, sometimes it could be months prior, years prior. It's always great to do it early, not when you're there against the wall and you're saying, look, ma, look, dad, this is what we have to do. Because how do they feel? But if that's kind of in place from earlier, maybe when they're 70, 65, that place up the street, yeah, that's a great building. Yeah, everyone seems to be really happy there. I don't know. How would you think, maybe 10 years from now, that's where you, transition to.
Right.
So it's really, really nice because why? You're including your mom or dad in that decision, correct?
Oh, yeah.
What did you say? You said your mom won't like it if it's not her decision.
Got to be her idea.
So therefore, if you're starting the conversation early, it's not as tough on the loved one. Because let's be honest, can we avoid our parents getting older? Can we avoid us getting older?
Well, and I think for me and my brother and also my mom, we kind of turned a blind eye to her getting her older. She probably should have been moved someplace different from where she lives now when she was in her 70s. Here we are 13 years later, and we're kind of having to do it now. And I think that a lot of people end up that way. Is mom's fine. She's still getting around. She's still driving when she's in her 70s. Then all of a sudden, 80s there just like that.
Exactly. And 80s here. But think about if you would have transitioned mom maybe at 77, 78, think about how much she would have gotten out of Sunrise with everything that we have to offer. Then when you're transitioning her in her mid to late 80s, she's not going to get again, we will still support and she will enjoy. But when you're coming there and you're kind of still at that place where you kind of want to be social, you can be. There are some of the greatest friendships that are made at Sunrise.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Like one of the most beautiful bonds I've ever seen. There was a lady who moved in, and it was two ladies that ran memory care. One lady was already there, and this new lady claimed she had never ever lived alone. Her husband had recently passed away. She never ever lived alone. So her children came and they got a private suite for her. Those were the accommodations they wanted. Every day she formed a friendship with this lady, and every day she and this lady would go in each other's rooms. We had a conversation with the family and we said, you know what? Why would you consider getting them a companion suite? Because they're already in each other's rooms. It was wonderful. Family ended up saving money.
Right.
And the two residents ended up thriving because they were able to kind of get what they needed, that companionship from each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, something else, COVID. COVID sucked. We understand COVID sucked, but I look at COVID, it was a way for us to totally be really, really creative and show how creative we can be. I mean, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade, throw some sugar and water in there. And one thing that I can say at Sunrise, we, much like a lot of other assisted livings, but we made sure we were on point with keeping families connected with their loved ones, via FaceTime, Skype, whatever. And another particular resident, she had never, ever met her grandchildren because her grandchildren lived in Israel. Never, ever met her grandchildren. When COVID came in place, we were FaceTiming. This resident did not have the iPad, but we were going and doing it. She was able to meet her grandchildren for the first time. And she had 3. And seeing that connection made, it was a beautiful thing. And it, they're still communicating weekly, but that's something great that came out of it.
Right.
If it wasn't for COVID, that would have never happened. But it was us being creative and thinking outside of the box. Like, what can we do? We know COVID's happening out there, but why are we going to talk about it inside? Let's focus on the positive,
No,
Yeah.
I hear you. That makes sense. So if I understand you right, from start to finish, an assessment, come meet you, meet my brother and I. I'm gonna use me as an example.
Tour.
Me and my brother come meet you
Tour,
first,
commitment,
do a tour,
assessment,
Yep.
paperwork assessment. Mm-hmm.
bring mom in, do the assessment, more assessment with her.
Mm-hmm.
She may start one place, but as things progress, she might get a little bit worse or
Mhm.
things change. You guys have the doctors and nurses in place to make it all happen.
Nurses, yes,
Nurses, okay.
And
Do doctors come through, or how does that work?
Of course. Your
Okay.
primary care physician can come in.
Okay.
You can keep your attending primary care physician. They can come provide whatever services. Occupational therapists can come in. Physical therapists can come in.
Mhm.
Even hospice providers can come in.
Yeah.
Whatever is needed.
Yeah. The thing about my mom, her primary physician is now dead. So she
Well,
don't need a new
again,
one.
and with that being said, we have several referrals. We have our physicians that that we are most used to at Sunrise, and we can definitely refer one of them. I have teams up with wonderful concierge doctors that can help get the paperwork done,
Mhm.
because sometimes that's the hardest part, getting that paperwork done from the physicians that I need.
Mhm.
I can't have a resident move in without getting a physician's report or a move-in order. That is sometimes so challenging. When it gets down to the wire and it's super duper challenging, I'll talk to the family. But again, I have the resources, and I make sure I have the resources and support to execute the move-ins.
So physician's report,
Mhm.
that's part of getting them in.
Yes, that's part of the paperwork that I mentioned. So
what does that report say that will allow them to allow you to
so
accept them?
basically it's a 6-page document, and it's all about what your loved one's health status is.
Okay.
There are lots of questions there. Can they administer their own medication, where they are with their ambulatory status, can they follow directions? Because with that, we're figuring, are they memory or are they assisted living? That's what you're really, really looking
Just
at.
to help you do the assessment in terms of where to place them.
So
and what
in
kind of
order
needs
for
there are.
us to conduct an assessment, we have to have that paperwork from the physician.
Okay.
So yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Anything else, Dana?
I think that's about it. Sunrise, a great place to be. There's one wherever you like to find one. You can definitely find one. And if not, you can always reach out to me, dana.hunter@sunrise.com, sunriseseniorliving.com.
And you can always call me at 714-643-2500. And my extension is 420. And I can connect you with Dana also.
Yep.
Thanks for being here, Dana.
Anytime. Thanks,
All right.
Eric, for having me.